Kent closed in on their first LV County Championship win of the summer as they made the most of their work on the second day to keep themselves well on top of Surrey on the penultimate day in Canterbury, thanks to 4 more wickets for Adam Riley. Starting the third day 4 down with a lead of 70 on 355 for 4, Kent did lose 2 very early wickets. Darren Stevens and Ben Harmison both fell to Matt Dunn, the latter with an LBW decision which put the home side on 358 for 6. Dunn made a terrific start to his day and should also have had the wicket of Sam Billings, only for him to be put down in a slip cordon, missing the Surrey skipper Graham Smith, who was off the pitch to look after his unwell daughter. Billings tried to make the most of that drop in order to stop a sudden collapse, which would have put Kent back in their plans. They would have wanted to get a long way ahead in their first innings after Rob Key and Brendan Nash's brilliant 197-run partnership on the previous day. Aided by Adam Ball, Billings carried a total of 410, maximum batting points secured for the first time since July 2012, for a lead now of 125. A crafty bit of bowling from Jay Dernbach ended the flourishing 7th wicket stand as Billings was bowled for 34 by one that nipped back in off the pitch. Mitch Claydon didn't last too long. He too was bowled, this time by Anish Kapil, for whom this was his first wicket in Surrey colours. It had been a good morning for the visiting side, and it got even better when Ball edged a drive behind of acting Surrey captain Dernbach to go with Kent on 421 for 9. Then just before the break, Surrey grabbed their 6th wicket of the morning, in which Kent had added 80 runs, Capel having more to remember his debut for as Riley top-edged the pull to Dunn in the deep. Kent were all out for 435 to lead on first innings by 150 runs. So Surrey came out to bat in their second innings with Rory Burns and Aaron Haranath, and the latter was back in the pavilion in the 5th over, edging a rising ball from Doug Bollinger to ball. Then in the next over, Claydon struck Dominic Sibley on his bat leg right in front of his stumps as Surrey slipped to 12 for 2, Sibley gone for a duck. Bollinger has been a terrific signing for Kent, and for the second innings in the match, he was going at well under 2 runs per over, with the batsman sometimes unable to lay bat on ball. When the Australian was replaced by Stevens, Burns tried to kick-start the innings but pulled horribly, skying the ball to Daniel Bell-Drummond at 32 for 3. And when Zafar Ansari, who'd spent 77 minutes making his 9 runs, went after a looping leg-side ball from Riley, he was speedily stumped by Billings to leave the visitors in big trouble on 47 for 4, still 103 runs behind. How Surrey now needed something from their captain Smith, who came in at number 6. He had a huge job on his hands to prevent a second defeat of the LV County Championship summer, and he needed some support from Stephen Davis. A lot now relied on these two to keep their sides head above water. They added 50 in 15 overs. But Riley, bowling a long spell, then got his side moving in the right direction again by trapping Davis in front for 40. The impressive off-spinner then struck for a 3rd time in the innings and for the 7th time in the match, as an edgy Jason Roy poked this ball into the hands of Key, who held on just above the turf. Riley was having an outstanding match, one where he's getting a fair amount of national attention. About the only thing he did wrong was when he failed to remove the bails to run out Capel. Surrey were now right up against it, and even more so when Claydon bowled Capel via the inside edge to leave the visiting side on 134 for 7. Smith was the man Kent wanted now. The South African ensured that they would have to bat a second time, but just after doing so, he holed out off Riley, who now had his best ever match figures for his county. Smith departed for 38. Riley would have had a fifer had Key not dropped a sharp chance in the slips to give Matt Dunn a life. The extra half hour was claimed as Kent tried to get the job done with a day to spare. You don't often see fields such as this one employed in the county game these days. The two sides will have to return on Wednesday, but Surrey will start the last day 9 down after Claydon trapped Stuart Meeker in front to end his 90-minute stay at the crease. With that wicket, the play was done for the day. Riley has figures of 4 for 65 to go with the 4 for 77 he got first time out, and he would love to grab the last Surrey wicket when play resumes, with the visitors on 170 for 9, which puts them just 20 runs ahead. Kent will want to get the job done quickly before the forecast rains arrive in the Garden of England.